The sermon you're not getting this week. I was gonna try to do it from my computer, but I was having more trouble with Facebook, so this is why it's coming out later than I had hoped. But hopefully, a few people are still interested in following along. So here's the sermon you're not getting this week. Today we're looking at Hebrews 2, 10 through 18. It was fitting that God, for whom and through whom all things existed, in bringing many children to glory, should make the pioneer of their salvation perfect through sufferings. For the one who sanctifies and those who are sanctified all have one Father. For this reason, Jesus is not ashamed to call them brothers and sisters, saying, I will proclaim your name to my brothers and sisters. In the midst of the congregation, I will praise you. And again, I will put my trust in him. And again, here am I and the children whom God has given me. Since therefore the children share flesh and blood, he himself likewise shared the same things, so that through death he might destroy the one who has the power of death, that is, the devil, and free those who all their lives were held in slavery by the fear of death. For it is clear that he did not come to help angels, but the descendants of Abraham. Therefore he had to become like his brothers and sisters in every respect, so that he might become a merciful and faithful high priest in the service of God, to make a sacrifice of atonement for the sins of the people. Because he himself was tested by what he suffered, he is able to help those who are being tested. Here ends our reading. So it really makes you wonder, if Jesus really was fully human and fully suffered everything that we suffered and was tested in every way that we're tested, did Jesus ever have, a stomach ache, where like you feel like you're feeling really bloated, and if anyone touches your stomach, it just hurts and you just want to yell at them? Do you think Jesus ever had that? Do you think Jesus ever had a stomach ache? Or do you think there was ever a time when Jesus was working in his carpentry shop and something didn't go right, and he said some words that you wouldn't want to repeat in church? Do you think Jesus ever just got frustrated at work and got mad? Maybe he didn't take things out on anyone. He didn't commit a sin, but maybe he said a string of bad words, or at least felt like he needed to because he was really fuming with frustration. Jesus was really fully tempted in every way that we were, tested in every way that we were, if he was exposed to the same sort of temptations, do you think Jesus ever got a crush on someone, looked at someone and thought, ooh, wow, that's a really nice looking person. I sure would like to have a conversation with them. If Jesus was really tested in every way, if Jesus really was fully human, probably, right? Why is this such a weird question? Because it seems almost sacrilegious to even talk about this, but it's also theologically critical. It is important that, according to the book of Hebrews, the author of Hebrews kind of stakes a big position on this. Jesus was tested in every way that we were. Jesus went through it with us. It should go without saying that Jesus experienced these things. It shouldn't be controversial or sacrilegious. It shouldn't feel wrong to think about this. This is truly human. This is what it means to be truly human. So tomorrow is Christmas Eve. And on Christmas Eve, a lot of us like to imagine a very tranquil, pristine, manger, a very beautiful place in which Jesus was laid. We like to think about the silent holy night. But is that what we really imagine it being like? I know we talk about the virgin birth. What we're mostly talking about is the virgin conception. There have been throughout periods of time in the church's history where they did talk about the idea of an actual virgin birth, not just conceived in virginity, but virgin birth. That is, there's some descriptions of Jesus just sort of apparating outside of her womb. There was never a point where she had to go through labor, all the stress and the pain and the blood, sweat, and tears. There wasn't a point where she was yelling at Joseph to just get out and gripping a midwife's arm so hard it turned white. She just was pregnant one moment, and the next moment baby Jesus was sitting outside her womb. That would be a true virgin birth, a true birth in which her body was sort of never changed by the experience of pregnancy. But that's not what we think happened, right? Certainly theologically, if we believe that Jesus had a fully human birth, we've got to imagine that there was some screaming and groaning and crying. We got to imagine that this stable scene, think about that. There's the smell of animals, and added to that, whatever smell comes with a human birth. I don't know what that smells like. Some of you maybe do. But the sounds, the texture of the hay, it's not comfortable. It's not pristine. It's not pretty in many ways. It's a mess. And that doesn't really jive well with the songs we sing about it. It's not a gentle layer of snow falling around a church with a beautifully lit steeple and everything is quiet and holy. It is groaning and crying and sweating and probably some strong language and some frustration and some anger and some pain. It was a challenging, messy time. But it's not the pristineness of it. It's not I guess we could say that even today we would say that childbirth is a miraculous thing, right? But no one thinks that childbirth is miraculous because it's perfectly clean and without complications. They think it's miraculous because a new life is formed. And life is dynamic and messy and complicated. It's not clean and robotic and pristine. No, it's a miracle because it's a mess. And I think the same thing is true of Christmas. It's not it being clean with just a gentle layer of snow falling on the ground that makes it amazing and holy. What makes it holy is that God has shown up. Tomorrow, maybe some of us will experience a gentle, light layer of snow and a well-lit steeple. Frankly, around here, I think we're going to experience some fog and warm weather. Maybe some of us will experience this week some time with our family in which we'll say a prayer, sit down for a meal, everyone will be loving and kind to each other, and then afterwards we'll play some cards and reminisce about the good old days. Or maybe you'll get into a political argument, or someone will say something that just rubs someone the wrong way, and a fight will break out, and then someone will storm off into the dark of night, and someone will have to go chase after them. Maybe you will have a spiritual awakening in which the miracle of the incarnation dawns on you in a way that it never has before, and you have a whole new insight into who God is and what this means for your life. And maybe you'll just be really tired and a little bloated with too much food of a variety of sweets, and you'll be tired and exhausted and emotionally worn out from all the presents that you had to get last minute because you forgot about some things, and all the presents that you had to wrap and no one else in the family helped you, and all the work that you had to do, and all the food that you had to make, and all the parties that you had to go to, and all the things that you had to do, and you'll just get there and you'll feel drained, and you'll just lay down on your bed and fall asleep. And maybe that'll be your Christmas Eve, and you won't have any spiritual awakenings. But no matter what it is, it's not holy because it's clean and pretty. It's not holy because everyone's having a good time around the dinner table. It's not holy because you had a spiritual awakening. It's holy because God showed up. And whether it's a mess or it's perfect, God's showing up. Amen.